Hi, folks. This is Friday, July 12th, 2019. I'm sorry Larry's not able to be with us again today. I'm looking for the program so that I can check the live chat. I did get a text message from him today, and I want to say thank you very much for the people who have donated in the last 24 hours. Folks, Wednesday night, I'm sorry more of you were not on the conference call with us. I did tell you yesterday the key points of what he mentioned. But he was on the conference call with us Wednesday night for 2 hours. And he was able on the conference call to mention names and relationships that he could never mention here on YouTube, with people he's worked with or is working with and has worked with in the past and so on. He's very much staying in the game, staying in the fight, working very hard, and he's so quick to say he's not worthy. But folks, anybody and everybody who is under the blood of Jesus Christ is worthy of God's grace, because Jesus has made us worthy. And I would like to acknowledge the miraculous. I would like today to be about thanking God for the miraculous things that God has done. We certainly have plenty of frustration over what hasn't happened yet in draining the swamp, but it is in progress. And the wheels of justice turn very, very slowly, but they are turning. And Larry is holding people's feet to the fire to do the right thing, or he will, well, he just has a reason to believe that they will do the right thing. And we can have hope that as long as Larry stays in the fight, there are things that he can do, and he has promised that he will finish this mission. And God has promised him that he's not done yet, and he has a mission to finish. Now, people tried to take him out earlier this week. He survived. He's wincing occasionally, and how he just keeps going and going like a regular old energy bunny is pretty amazing. But folks, I've been on the call with him every day for 37 and a half months now. And I am just absolutely flabbergasted. Larry hasn't every day gotten everything he needed or everything that he wanted that would have helped him to maximize the help that he could have used. But he's still here. He is still fighting. He is so excited about this program he's in right now and what is happening in his body and how well it's working. I'll tell you, the medical staff is just rejoicing. They are phenomenally blown away by what's going on. And in 2016, there were 3 different times where they had to shock him back to life. And it wasn't just the normal 3 times and give up. They kept trying and trying and trying. 5 times, 6 times, brought him back. February of last year, they had to do it again, and they gave up. And we assembled a team. 12 of us were praying together on the phone, hearing that he was dying. And the doctors gave up and left the room and stopped trying and left the nurse to unplug everything. And as we prayed, he came back, sat up, totally freaked the nurse out, and said, "Hey, what's the matter? What are you so upset about?" He says, "I just needed a nap." And he's been in the fight ever since. This man just doesn't quit. And I'm telling you, folks, I know for many of you, $1 is a stretch. I get that. Believe me, I get it more than you realize. I understand. But you know what? By not participating, you're leaving yourself out of being part of this miracle that is happening day after day after day, month after month, year after year. There is something absolutely miraculous going on. And Larry doesn't take all the credit for it. He shares the credit with us that have helped him. And when you don't give anything, then you have withdrawn from yourself a blessing that God intends to give you. And I'm saying that because God said, give and it will be given unto you. We don't give to get back. But God does promise to bless us for our generosity. And I know generosity is a relative thing. And $1 can be very, very sacrificial and generous for some folks. And it can be a drop in the bucket and absolutely nothing to others. But he says that the measure that you give will be measured back to you. Now, the blessings aren't always financial. God helps to take care of our health. There are other ways that God provides blessing in return. But I just wanted to mention today the miraculous. I was talking to somebody a few weeks ago, and we were talking about the story of Lazarus. Lazarus is actually mentioned twice in the New Testament, twice with Jesus. Jesus talked about a poor beggar who had nothing and was sitting at the doorstep of a rich man. And the rich man didn't give him anything. And Lazarus died and went to heaven. And the rich man died and saw Lazarus and said, please, Father Abraham, let Lazarus dip his finger in water and touch my tongue to give me a little relief, as the rich man was being tortured in hell. And he said, please go back to my brothers. And if somebody comes back from the dead, warn them. Send them back to warn my brothers. And Abraham said, if and this is the story, the parable that Jesus told. And Abraham in the parable said to the rich man, if somebody comes back from the dead, they won't believe. Well, I don't know how long after, it couldn't have been that long after, the real man named Lazarus, who was the brother of Mary and Martha, died. And Jesus raised him from the dead. So Lazarus came back from the dead. There were many who believed on Jesus, but there were many among the ruling elite that were very angry that people were believing in Jesus, and more people were believing in Jesus. And so they didn't believe. Here was this rich man who certainly had power and influence because of his wealth. And here are the Pharisees and leaders of the people who did not believe, though Lazarus came back from the dead, and they got very angry and they plotted and had Jesus crucified and killed because of it. So, the parable, it's interesting to think of this parable using the name Lazarus and saying, even if somebody comes back from the dead, people aren't necessarily going to believe. They will believe for other reasons, but not because somebody comes back from the dead. Now, there are people who will believe because of that. But, just look at people who are following Larry and what they believe about what he's doing. There are people who help, and there are people who work very hard to still work very hard to downplay what Larry's doing and to dismiss him and to talk badly about him. You know, we get trolls in our chat room occasionally. We haven't had any I haven't seen in a while, but we are witnessing an incredible miracle. Not only did we have an incredible miracle when Trump won the election in 2016, but you know what he said Wednesday night, and that I shared with you yesterday, the fact that mathematically there is no way Trump can win because of all the things the Democrats are plotting and planning to do. Just like the Pharisees were plotting and planning to get rid of Jesus. Did they win? No. Jesus died. Satan thought he had the victory. The Pharisees thought their problem had gone away and they were going to maintain their power, and there wasn't Jesus to confront them anymore. But what happened 3 days later? Jesus came back from the dead, and we just have to believe in God and the power of the resurrection. Paul said that I may know him and the power of the resurrection and the fellowship of suffering with the saints. Now, folks, a lot of us are suffering really hard. But there is always the power of the resurrection, and we've got to start claiming that. You know, Jesus said that when he went to the Father, he had a mission for his followers to do, to heal the sick, to cast out demons, and to raise the dead. Well, we've done that with Larry. So his healing is coming, and he's getting very close to where he never dreamt possible that he could be again. And he is so looking forward in a few weeks to being able to tell you what happened, to be able to be a spokesman for what he has done and what has happened in his life and in his body. We are believing God that this natural means is what God has chosen to use to help Larry. And not only help Larry, but somebody on our team pointed out to me just an hour ago, you know, this is something that can be helpful to heal many in our country. Larry said that Wednesday, and this friend said it today. It's pretty exciting what God is getting ready to do. And to be part of this is such a privilege and such an honor and such an exciting thing. I just hate for you to miss out being part of it just by being a bystander. Participate in this. Be part of this miracle. No matter how little you can do, no matter how much you could do something sacrificially. Be part of this. Larry's PayPal account is nicholslive@aol.com. That's Nichols, Nichols, live, L-I-V as in Victor, E, nicholslive@aol.com. Or go to the website, nicholslive.com. There's a link there to his PayPal. There's his address if you want to mail cash. If you only have $1 to send, just put it in an envelope and mail it to him. His birthday's coming up in a couple weeks. Stick $1 in an envelope and, you know, wish him a happy birthday. There is a phone number on the website, 240-499-6729. You can use that to contact me and find out if there is any other way to help Larry. So that's the deal. Thank you for being here. Larry is so looking forward to coming back. We will have a conference call tonight. It'll be very brief. The prayer call has been suspended temporarily. I've got some things that I need to deal with. I've had some very difficult things that I've had to deal with, and I just needed to be able to concentrate on some of those things right now. So the prayer call has stopped in the mornings, but I do hope we will be able to start it up again. But right now we will have a conference call at 8 o'clock Central Time tonight. And if there's any way that you can find to be part of this miracle, if you know somebody who could donate $5,000 to $10,000 so Larry can get a discount on the remainder of the treatment that he's going to need, that would be very, very helpful. So thank you very much for being here. Thanks for participating. May God bless you. Don't forget, on the weekends, we're not here, so funding for Larry needs to happen today to get him through the weekend. And if there's anything you can do, we will greatly, greatly appreciate it. I know he's not good about letting me know who's given, so I'm not able to say thank you directly, and so we have to do that here. But I want to thank anybody and everybody who has participated in this miracle that is happening in Larry's life. Thank you very much. Have a blessed weekend. Bye for now. We'll talk on Monday.